Now, throughout the game, I have collected enough equipment to basically optimize all three of my parties simultaneously without needing to share any equipment between them. The only exceptions to that might occasionally be, like, ribbons, depending on where in the dungeon you are, because, you know, certain enemies and all that, although you can also substitute peace rings, since the main status effect you'll ever need to really be concerned about is confusion outside of bad breath, like from one particular monster anyway. Or otherwise, even instant death protection, which you really won't necessarily need throughout the dungeon, even though I'm going to have some characters equipped with it here and all that to start with. For the most part, you really only need instant death protection if your characters happen to be at a multiple level 5, because level 5 death is the most prominent death spell, especially with some of the lores being changed around in this mod, so yeah, I might change up some of my equipment a little bit once I get into the dungeon, but for the most part, our teams are going to look as you'll see them here. Beginning with party number 1, which technically is Rarity's party, but I like Fluttershy to lead it, so yeah, this team is built around Rarity, as what team she's in is actually predetermined between either Party 1 or Party 3, depending on, well, a particular fork in the road that you're going to choose. Since Rarity's in Party 1, you can see how I'm going to be going about this, having this party fight only one boss in the final dungeon and all that. Excluding the final one, of course. So we are equipped, as you see here. Fluttershy doesn't need a hero ring because of the butterfly dagger there, which is nice. Sweetie Belle is something of an exception as far as her equipment goes there. I have her equipped with the ribbon, which is a must, but I don't necessarily need the jeweled ring there. That's actually for mostly, depending on the area we're in as well, because there are certain instances, or rather certain rooms, where I would prefer to have the fake mustache and have her use control, finally. Control is very much like confusion, except of course you can control what the enemy does, but it's like confusion in that if the enemy gets hit with a physical attack, and you'll lose control of them. So if I were to use Rainbow Dash, she and Sweetie Belle would work really well together in that respect, but except for Luna, she works pretty well with this party, since Fluttershy can at least target whatever she wants. And yeah, otherwise, Sketch can still be very, very useful, depending. I'm not necessarily always going to be using it, or even all that much. It depends entirely on the enemies. And anyway, you might notice this looks remarkably like the party I used for Party 1 in Pony Fantasy, except I had to throw Fluttershy on it because this party desperately needed another powerhouse, which Luna unfortunately cannot provide, because Rarity can do really good damage with Gem Flash. And otherwise, Esper growth, we're only going to be, every party member is only going to be gaining like 2 levels for the most part in the final dungeon. So Esper growth isn't necessarily a big deal at this point, but I'm still going to be concerned with it. So Fluttershy and Luna, of course, are going to be still using Chief, although you also want to have Chief equipped anyway, because there's certain otherwise annoying monsters you'll want to try to insta-kill. And Rarity and Sweetie Belle, of course, are still going to be using Sparkler, although if you acquire that, well, that other Esper that I turned into a sword instead, and taught them both Ultima, then you'll want to go, where is it, with MP plus 50% instead of Sparkler, or actually isn't, yeah, Sunbeam gives MP plus 50% as well, so yeah, you could go with that, in addition. So, yeah, as I said, I don't necessarily need the Memento Ring for instant death protection. I might give her something else once I actually get into the dungeon. But otherwise, moving on to party number 2. Oh, and of course, Luna's primary function in the other party is as a healer and all that. But anyway, party number 2 is essentially, well, actually my most changed, because I totally flipped them and party 3 around after my test runs and all that. So this is my true powerhouse team and Flash Sentry. comprised of Twilight, Trixie, Pinkie, and, well, Last Century. They are designed to basically just eliminate anything and everything as quickly as possible, specifically bosses that they're going to come across. Equipped like this, Trixie is actually mostly going to be using mimicking Twilight specifically, since Twilight has access to Ultima. Yeah, this party strategy is actually linked to that, in part. And Last Century is something of, well, kind of an either-or type of character, I suppose you could say. You could use the wing shoes and the flight suits, but he also works perfectly fine equipped with the hero ring and the power band, because his drill is just that strong. And all that, and let's see, otherwise, oh, actually I haven't even, yeah, otherwise, of course, Luna's gonna have Alicorn and, well, Magic to preferably, might use Emulate or Summon, either way, but yeah, Emulate will probably be the way to go for the most part, or even going with Lures every once in a while, depending, but yeah, for the most part, Alicorn and Magic are the way to go for Trixie, and she'll just mimic Twilight otherwise. And then, of course, as far as Espers go, these guys are actually mostly don't need, except for Last Century, these guys mostly don't need the standard Espers that I usually go with. Flash, of course, is going to have pretty much non-stop Chief, so he'll be my go-to guy for instant death, if need be. And then Twilight, having access to Ultima now, I'm going to have going with the 50% boost to MP. Trixie, I'm actually going to go with 50% boost to HP with Spike there. And Pinkie, well, at this point, since she's only going to be getting 2 more levels, those 2 points of speed aren't going to make that big a difference at this point. So I'm actually going to start prioritizing HP with Pinkie as well, as she does need it quite a bit. Flash Sentries actually partly works in this party because, well, partly because Pinkie could use the protection, and partly because Pinkie and Scootaloo don't work well since they're both dual-wielding. And last but not least, we have Applejack's team, which is not specifically built around her this time, since she is much faster with her sword techs, but it's kind of inadvertently built around her anyway, because of the way that, well, these two specifically function, since she has long animations with her summons, and Cadence is, well, going to be healing a fair bit, but otherwise can do quite a bit of animation time herself with Flare, and then Scootaloo, of course, is Scootaloo. Now, this team I've got equipped as my kind of my sub-powerhouse team between mostly AJ and Celestia as far as bosses go. Scootaloo, unfortunately, is not terribly powerful against most of the bosses in the final dungeon because of the heavy defenses that they have. At least if you haven't taught her any magic, like I have anyway. So, which is also partly why I have boosted her magic a fair bit. I'm actually going to mostly be boosting her vigor from here on out. Yeah, entirely her vigor, as it were. Although, as you can see, I do give her with the dual thunderbolts, which would be the strongest thing she has anyway. Unfortunately, she doesn't have any strong non-elemental weapons yet. So that does hurt her a little bit against certain bosses in the dungeon. Although, as it turns out, there are at least a couple of bosses and many, many monsters that are weak to lightning anyway. Which Scootaloo is actually on the team that's going to be fighting at least 2 of the monsters weak to lightning. So, yeah, in any case, of course, Cadence is here in part to heal Scootaloo. Keep Scootaloo safe, even though she'll be in the back anyway, and HA actually probably would do better. She really doesn't need the safety bit. I probably should just give her the marble shoes, really. That way she won't take too much damage while she's up front, and she's not going to be doing a ton of counterattack damage with her weapon as it is anyway. Oh, also, I almost forgot, regarding Celestia and Luna, I've given them both the Triad Glories, but obviously, if for whatever reason you decided, well, not to get one of the Triad Glories because you preferred the Esper, which is totally plausible if you decided to teach them Ultima, which would do well with both of them, obviously. Then, well, their ultimate weapons are just fine. Even I totally glossed over Luna's, but it's essentially exactly the same as Celestia's, except that it's bigger, not magic, as far as its function goes. And then, of course, as far as Espers go, Scoot and AJ are still going to be getting cheap. Cadence still needs more magic powers, since she just isn't going to have Ultima as far as the way I built it. And Celestia, of course, is still going to keep on building her HP. So, yeah, otherwise, if you did have Ultima, then MP is the way to go for Cadence, I suppose. And with that said, my 3 parties are ready. We will be going on to the final dungeon next time on Let's Play Philly Fantasy 6. Arrivederci. Since my videos were long enough to split into 2 and all that, or my big old explanation and all that, I figured I might as well do one last thing that I did say I would do a while back, well, in the comments anyway, and that is show off the remaining Espers that we haven't seen yet, minus the one that I don't have, and also minus the one that I passed up. I probably should have thought of that sooner, but I kind of forgot at that point. So anyway, we've seen actually quite a few Espers, all the starting ones there. Yeah, the first few have all been useful. I believe we've seen Twilight, we've definitely seen Majesty, Fizzy, Masquerade, and Whistler, and Spike, of course. And I don't think, oh, we technically have seen Moon Dancer, but I'll probably show it again anyway. But yeah, I'll show off, oh, and Chief, of course. But yeah, I'll show off the remaining ones, beginning with, well, coincidentally, ones that don't do any damage except for North Star there. So, anyhow, oh, that was faster than I was expecting. Oh, you're here? Anyway, Morning Glory, heal us! Let's see what we got here. What do these look like? I haven't seen most of these either, so... Oh, that's cool. Neat. That's probably about as strong as Cure 1, so... Bengals, Reflect. Let's see what that looks like. I don't even know what Bengals looks like to begin with. Oh, okay. Looks a lot like the little Ruby guy, huh? Let's see, Galaxy, Status. Galaxy I should be able to recognize. Oh yeah, that looks like Galaxy, alright. And doing a little damage. It'll probably kill the guy and also blinds him, I guess. Nightshade, huh? Oh, North Star. Sweet. Oh, wow. It's actually the weakest of all the attacks, so... Anyhow. Alrighty, got our next set of Espers here. Let's see. You have... I want to use... I have at least one that doesn't do damage here, so... Yeah, Moon Dancer. Start with you. Although we have seen this one because of Rainbow Dash once before, but I might as well show it again. Although I'm actually going to be using it in the final dungeon at least once anyway, so... Oh, also, didn't I use this against... No, I don't think I... Did I use this against something else? Anyway, Crumpet, because the 2 birds should be immune to an Earth Elemental attack. I don't know who Crumpet is, so... Oh. Looks a little masculine to be wearing that bow, huh? See, and then Surprise, that'll kill them, and Sparkle will kill them as well, so... Yeah, let's just, fine. We'll start with you. Oh, no. It's, you. Let's see what Sparkler looks like. Try Taser! This is 3 elements in 1, which is actually not that useful very often. Huh. Interesting. Alrighty. We have enough MP for this? I didn't even bother to check. But anyhow, yeah, I got the last ones, including, let's see, got Healing. How much MP? Yeah, okay, wouldn't give me the option otherwise. Healing. Group Hog, huh? Oh, wow, she looks a little dead. That's so fitting for her, oddly. Oh, Sunbeam, that'll be an attack, and then I gave you Sun Shimmer, right? See what this looks like. I never showed it off in Pony Fantasy, but this was changed to Philomena in that... Oh, you don't even get to see it? Oh, I see. I'm gonna have to kill some pony first. Okay, I can do that. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and see Surprise then. And let's see if you can... well, whatever. Anyway, that was surprise. She's not blonde, damn it! I've already gone over this, but whatever. Even the comics think she's blonde. For those of you who've read the Guardians of Harmony one. But yeah, that's the only way for Scootaloo to do dive, by the way. I know it would make more sense for Celestia to have Sunbeam, but whatever. Anyway. Celestia! Oh, you're the one who's going to be casting this. Dang it. You're the one who has... Oh, well. I'll wait. Oh, really? Okay, fine. Anyway, now let's see Sun Shimmer, and then I can see Sunbeam. Oh, that's neat. It's kind of funny how you can't see her face there. And then Sunbeam, the Holy Elemental attack. Oh, wow. That looks neat! I like that one! That's a nice design. It looks a lot like the, Oh, it's a counterattack, huh? I was like, how the heck did you survive that? But anyway, yeah, there we go. That's all the Espers except for, well, 2. One that I don't have yet, and one that I unfortunately passed up, and we got an apple. Yay. 54 bits. So, anyway, next time, the final dungeon. Arrivederci.